So for part one, we're just going to talk about the scenario we have here. Now in this scenario, we have taken two fractions and asked the class to add them together. Now interestingly, a lot of the class have come up with the same answer, albeit the wrong answer. But what is really pleasing is you can see the logic that the students have taken to get to this answer of 2/5. So if we break this down, we have two fractions here, and what's really interesting is that the students have understood the difference between a numerator and a denominator, and they've understood that there's actually a relationship between the denominator of both of the fractions and the numerator. Unfortunately, what they have done here, they've decided to add the numerators together, so 1 and 1 to get 2, and they've added 2 and 3 together to get 5. So in this scenario, what is actually quite interesting is they might have actually taken some inspiration from when you multiply fractions. So when you multiply fractions, it's almost simpler because when you multiply the top and you multiply the bottom together. Unfortunately, in this case, what they've forgotten is that in addition or subtraction, what you need to do first is find a common denominator for the fractions. And once you've got a common denominator, you don't need to add the denominator, you just need to add up the numerators. So unfortunately, they have got this question wrong, but it's really great to see the class using the numerators and the denominators basically to come up with an answer, and they're starting to understand how fractions can be used together. What would be really good is just to facilitate the conversation with the class by discussing the reasons for why they got this and how this is actually a really good step in their understanding of how to use fractions.